After a toddler was missing for 2 days, authorities and family were losing hope. Then a neighbor noticed movement in his yard, emerging from the woods, and he ran outside. Soon, he'd realized a pit bull had the little girl. Hello, wonderful people. I'm Gail Cruz from Wonderbot Animals. And here is... A toddler is missing for 2 days. Man opens the door and realizes a pit bull had her. Before we begin, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification button for more amazing videos. Charlie Campbell, an autistic 2-year-old little girl, went missing on a Thursday morning. Her grandmother, Beth Campbell, woke to find the door of her Lebanon Junction home open. The child who lived with Beth was gone. After disappearing in her blue frozen pajamas, a search for the blonde-haired, brown-eyed girl was quickly launched. First responders and volunteers from multiple agencies searched the woods near the home on Winding Hollow Road, hoping to find the toddler. A helicopter from Louisville Metro Police Department was even deployed, but nearly 2 days after she had gone missing without a trace, authorities hadn't turned up any clues, leaving the community shaken. Wayne Brown was one of many neighbors desperately hoping Charlie would be found safe. For Wayne, Charlie's disappearance hit close to home in more ways than one. My little brother went missing, Wayne revealed. He had wandered away from the home and he had climbed 3 fences. They found him miles away from the house. It was actually my uncle that found him, and he was dead. Not wanting little Charlie to meet the same fate, the Bullitt County man spent 3 hours looking for the little girl Thursday evening. With the search coming up empty, Wayne sat down on his couch Friday and began to pray for the toddler's return. When he looked up, he saw a blonde-haired girl walking up to his porch after emerging from the woods several hundred yards from Charlie's home. It was Charlie. Wayne rushed outside and offered her water as he called 911. It was soon learned that Charlie Campbell's dog, Penny, who had gone missing with the child, had also emerged from the woods just before Wayne found the little girl. As Charlie was entering Wayne's yard, Beth Campbell was looking up at the wooded hill behind her home, praying for her granddaughter's safe return, and saw her dog, Penny, coming home. According to authorities, Penny arrived home shortly before Charlie was found, leading some to believe the pit bull stayed with and protected the child until she was safe. As Beth watched the pit bull running toward her Friday evening, she had a feeling Charlie wouldn't be far behind. God is listening to us. He is listening, she recalled thinking, according to the Courier-Journal. Indeed, it was nothing short of a miracle that the little girl, affectionately nicknamed Mo, was alive. The terrain the toddler endured overnight was full of hard-to-navigate thick brush and home to aggressive wild hogs, prompting many who entered to carry guns in order to fend them off. Although she was dehydrated and covered in ticks, according to WKYT, Charlie was somehow otherwise unscathed. In the hours before her discovery, dozens of volunteers searched for her around the home. They had even searched the exact wooded area near where Charlie was found 5 or 6 times. They've been everywhere, Wayne said. They've been all over this place, and how did they not find this child? And she just shows up where the search has been. How does that happen? Even with all the questions, Wayne knows one thing for sure. I'm convinced that God led her to our porch, he said. I don't know why me, it could have been anyone, but no one will convince me otherwise. As many continued to search for answers surrounding Charlie's disappearance and miraculous return, Beth Campbell lauded Penny as the reason Charlie survived. This is our hero, right here, Beth said, petting her pit bull Penny, who she believes stayed by Charlie's side the entire time she was missing. When my dog didn't come home and my baby wasn't home, she was not going to leave that baby until she got here, Charlie's grandmother said, both amazed and grateful that her granddaughter was found unharmed. By the grace of God and everyone that helped, she's safe, and that's all that matters. Beth Campbell isn't the only one breathing a sigh of relief after Charlie's safe return. There's so much evil and so much wicked in this world, and people doing ungodly things to these kids. To find one safe and unharmed, "I can't express it," Wayne Brown said. But he didn't give Penny all the credit. Instead, he added, "There are no words except God." He had heard of dogs getting spooked by storms, or even ghosts, but the way Killian was behaving around the babysitter was something like out of a horror movie. Curious as to what was going on, he planted a recording device in the house the next time they went out. When he played the audio back, he immediately called the cops. "Hello, wonderful people. I'm Gail Cruz from Wonderbot Animals. And here is a dog won't stop barking at the babysitter for the most unexpected reason." Before we begin, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification button for more amazing videos. Benjamin and Hope Jordan were a happily married couple finally living the American dream in South Carolina. With 7-month-old Finn and big softy dog Killian making up their family of 4, their life seemed picture perfect. But while they were working hard to provide for the household and their future, the Jordans had no idea of the evil that was lurking in their home. Because both Benjamin and Hope had demanding careers, it became clear that they would need a babysitter to take care of little Finn while they were out. When Alexis Kahn's background check came back clean, the Jordans were so happy they'd found the perfect candidate to look after their home. If only they'd noticed the low growling sound every time she came into the house. Killian was the most gentle, calm dog the couple had ever known, and the way he was with Finn just melted their hearts. He wasn't the most courageous pooch, so they never considered him a guard dog, but he made a great companion for little Finn. One day, Benjamin started to notice Killian's behavior had taken a strange turn. His growling grew louder. The hair would stand on the back of his neck when they were heading out, and he would often stand in front of Alexis when she was trying to tend to the baby. Although he'd never seen his dog behave this way before, there was something very familiar about this. The way the dog was behaving reminded him of scary movies like The Omen, where animals lose their minds around a demonic presence. But this was their caring babysitter. She was great with little Finn and never gave them a reason to doubt her. While his imagination ran wild, Benjamin told himself he was just being silly. But after he found himself having to physically restrain the dog to stop from attacking Alex, Benjamin realized there was something sinister going on. Benjamin spoke to some fellow pet owners. They suggested it could be some trivial issue Killian had with Alexis. Perhaps she resembled someone that had hurt him in the past, or maybe she cooked meat at home before coming to look after Finn and he could smell it on her. Finn certainly didn't seem to have any complaints. In fact, he was generally very quiet around her. Or was that another warning sign? Killian's behavior was getting out of control. The 22-year-old babysitter couldn't get near the house without the dog losing its mind and trying to attack her. With no way of controlling the dog and Alexis now unable to do her job, the longtime pet owners considered doing something they never thought they'd have to do. Worried about going through the long and expensive process of hiring another babysitter, Benjamin had considered keeping Killian fenced off in the house while Alexis was around. But it suddenly occurred to Hope that if Killian was this crazy around Alexis, and he never behaved like that when they were at home, perhaps he was trying to warn them of something. Soon they would desperately regret not acting sooner. Hope suggested they hide an iPhone under the couch to see if they could shed some light on the situation. Because when it came down to it, they trusted Killian with their child and never saw him as a threat. But when he heard the playback, Benjamin and Hope stared at the phone in disbelief. Soon after they'd wiped away the tears, the police arrived at the house. The recording revealed that Alexis had been cursing and screaming at the baby. The police listened to it attentively and sympathized with the Jordans, but they weren't sure an audio recording would hold up in court. Then Benjamin played them another part of the audio that sent chills down their spines. Is this really who they had trusted to take care of their son? I wanted to reach through the audio, go back in time, and just grab him up, said Benjamin when he heard the slapping sounds. In the recording, you can hear baby Finn's crying change from fear to pain. Listening closely, it was even possible to hear Alexis shaking him, but the police were still worried the audio might not be enough to prosecute Alexis. In the end, there was only one thing they could do to stop the aggressive woman from doing this to another child. When a Charleston City police detective laid down the accusation, Alexis was quick to confess. She was sentenced to between 1 and 3 years in prison and forced to sign a child abuse register. "To know that for 5 months I had handed my child to a monster," said Benjamin regretfully. "Had our dog not alerted us to the trouble, Finn could have been killed. If background checks don't alert us to dangerous people, can we really rely on our dogs to warn us that we might be inviting evil into our homes?"